the circuit in Switzerland at Frauenfeld, the first time we ever went there was back in 1981 in the 125 class. Eric Gabor's the winner that weekend. Last year, 2023, on our fourth visit to the same venue, we were back up on the hillside alongside where that first GP took place in 1981. The circuit now, obviously a lot flatter, not so much character as it would have had back in the 80s. If it rains, it can be a very challenging racetrack because the dirt is very sticky, can get quite technical. So if we get those kind of conditions at any point during the weekend, then that will probably be the thing that makes the biggest difference. The track is quite short. I won't say narrow because circuits have to be a minimum width, but it is going to be a short lap time and it's going to be hard and slick and very fast if we don't see a lot of water on the track or if it doesn't rain.
Yeah, during the season, I would say my season is going pretty well. Made some big improvements, especially just on personal level, and then just like growing personally a lot. I wish my results were a bit better, but I think also the field is a bit more stacked than last year. It happens every year, we say it all the time, but I just feel it's getting even more and more stacked every year.
Rick Elzinga is our 2022 EMX 250 champion. Last year he was 10th overall in MX2, but this year he's definitely made those steps in the right direction. Currently sitting 7th in the standings, and his best result came in the San Salomon, one of the toughest races on the calendar. He was 2nd overall, and he was actually going for his first MX2 overall victory, but mechanical issues out of his control meant it wasn't meant to be for that weekend, but it was definitely the confidence boost he needed, that he belongs at the sharp end.
I don't need to do more. I already did some on Wednesday on training, and they were good as well. So just for the feeling, we already have it already figured out. So now just need to do it in the race. The first turn is small, and it's also off camber, so it's quite difficult to keep the inside. And it's also a trick to use the inside if you can. So one thing I don't know anything about is that's my shoes, my go-to shoes. Yeah, I walk around on these like a fashion icon, I would say. I walk around on them, so if you see me walking on them, it's because I like them. And they're Yamaha blue, so why not? Yeah, why not?
Just before racing Tjegums, when I was still in the MX 250, I just got the car like 2 days before that, and I finished school also at the same time, so yeah, it's like a nice gift for me, for myself. Yeah.
Karlis Reisulis, a young rider in the MX 250s, turned heads when he podiumed in Latvia, and then all of a sudden it was announced he was going to come and play with the MX2 boys for the remainder of the year. And his first race was an overseas race in Lombok, perhaps not the easiest race to go to, but I spoke to him in Lombok. We did a paddock talk, and he was just so happy to be there. He was taking everything in his stride, and he told me all he wanted to do was to have fun and gain experience. And it was only that year where he finished school and he went straight into a factory team on a factory bike, and he was living his best life.
Yeah, like my first few races were in Indonesia, like an overseas race, so was a really crazy experience, especially to be just new in the factory team and then straight race in some place where I've never been, where I don't know what it's like. At first, going from EMX 250 to MX2 was like that was one of the hardest points to to improve on, because like just the pure riding time during the weekend was so much more compared to the EMX 250, and you feel like so much more tired after the weekend. The hard thing is that all the riders are like just so competitive, and then if you have to fight like for every spot, as it would be like the leading sport for EMX 250, like even when you try to get into the top 10, the riders will not let you pass or let you do anything too easy, just always some hard racing.
But the track is quite okay. I think would be mainly one line, but it's not bad. I mean, you don't have to push. The speed is not super high because of the rut. So just have to find a flow and to go forward.
Yeah, actually for my back injury I had to stay 1.5 months completely with the neck brace, let's say. At 3 weeks I was allowed to do indoor cycling. At 1.5 months I was allowed to run again. And around 2.5 months I was allowed to be on a bike and try to feel good to be back before the end of the season.
Looking at Thibault's season, I think it's fair to say that it was a little bit of a slow burner for him. But then we see him get a podium in Arco, in the muds of Portugal, and he was really starting to build that momentum. Then his home GP happened, and of course that was a massive turning point in his year. Thibault had an incredibly big crash on one of the downhills, and he broke his C5.
Yeah, honestly, it was really hard to watch the GP at home. I won't lie, I didn't watch all of them because it was pretty hard, but yeah, it's never a nice feeling when you know that you have to be there and you can fight for the front and you're just in your sofa watching at them is really hard, yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to Frauenfeld. It's round 17 of the Afyon Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Switzerland, presented by IXS. My name's Paul Malin, thanks for joining us once again. And two Monster Energy Yamahas, Elzinga and Reisulis, and they're joined by their teammate this weekend, back from injury, Thibault Benistant, who will go to the line tonight.
Thibault makes his return in Switzerland, a track that he really enjoys riding. He picked up the overall there the year before, so it was a good track for him to make his comeback. He needed to dust off those cobwebs and really get that intensity level back. And he said he did have the rhythm, which he was happy with, but he was riding a little bit tight, and all he needed for the Sunday races were 2 good starts.
The start is crucial, not just because it's wet and muddy, but because when you come out of that first turn, you've got that pinch point through the chicane. Keep an eye on the gates here. A clean fall this time around. Kai de Wolf giving himself a lot of room to work, but it's going to be Benistant, I think, over the foxhole shot line on his return from injury. His first race back. Benistant leads on the Monster Energy Yamaha.
Yeah, I was really happy for sure to take the all shot first race. I mean, when you take all shots already is a nice feeling, but when you're out for so long and take this straight away is a really good feeling.
Two teammates here, Elzinga and Reisulis. Now they're 3rd and 4th place.
I read the board when I pass through my mechanic and I see relax. And then I try to relax a bit and I relax a bit too much, I think, and just make a mistake. But yeah, it was already nice.
And he goes down, Benistant, tips the front through the left-hander. De Wolf, your new leader, 2 seconds clear of Elzinga. Benistant now 3rd in black. His teammate behind him in 4th.
I felt pretty good. I started to believe in myself a bit more. Once I start to believe, also just in that race alone, I start to ride more free and more fast. And I think you could really see that happening during the race.
Elzinga in 2nd. He's still got 7 minutes plus 2. He's in that 2nd position. How long can that machine last for?
It was smoking a lot, but I didn't see the smoke because when I'm riding, I go to the front and the smoke stays behind, let's say. But I was feeling the bike was getting worse and worse by the lap and was bugging a bit. And it was sort of the same that happened in Lommel when I was fighting for the win. So I was really frustrated by it because I was again second position racing for the win, and then it happened again.
Yeah, and Elzinga, he pulls up the side of the track. The bike eventually goes, and he's out of third and out of the race. Heartbreak for Elzinga.
If I would have stayed there, I would have finished top 3, and it would have been enough for maybe another podium, you know, on a hard pack track.
Through the chicane for the final time, Kai de Wolf wins race 1 here in Switzerland. It's Karlis Reisulis who leads the way with his foxhole shot. Reisulis with his first foxhole shot of the campaign, but it's his teammate Thibault Benistant who does find his way past early on for the lead.
I was just not really thinking about it at that moment. I was just trying to, you know, use the lines, use the track as much as possible.
Reisulis goes back into the lead.
And I remember I was having so much fun, like in that moment, like I cannot, put it into words, like how good I was feeling on the bike, and then just track, the line choice, and then I was, I'm pretty happy with the race, and I didn't feel like any more pressure when I was in the leading position, so I guess that's also good for maybe some future experiences.
Actually, I was really excited to be back racing, and in Switzerland, where I won last year. Was a nice first race back. Second one I was okay, more struggling and more tight, but a bit frustrating about the second one, but in general was quite some positive, and just keeping this in mind.
Thibault Benistant under attack though from his teammate.
Did 2 podiums this year, so yeah, I can't complain. People forget sometimes that I missed basically all my 1-5 time. I was injured, and coming in my first year in 250, which is quite a big step. I had a leg and arm injury, which took about 1.5 years. I lost like 3-4 years altogether. But yeah, I'm just happy I'm still improving. There's more in the tank, and I improve slowly but steadily. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I would say if you give me just a bit of time, I will keep growing and be better and better every season and every weekend.
And Langenfelder crosses the line. He wins race 2 here. It's good enough for second overall. And it will be Reisulis holds on for second, his best finish in MX2. De Wolf crossed the line third and celebrates with a Grand Prix victory. Third overall, back on the podium, Liam Everts, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Simon Langenfelder, 5 podiums in the last 6 rounds. Second overall here with a 4th and a win for the Red Bull Gas rider. But Kai de Wolf, Nestan Husqvarna Factory Racing on the top step of the podium this year for the 7th time this season. He now leads by 61 points over his teammate Lucas Kuhnen. It's Jeremy Seaworth, the Swiss fans with the red and white flares, celebrating and urging him on because it's his 200th consecutive Grand Prix start. The numbers game very much in play this weekend, isn't it? You've got Tim Gajser, the way that those points are fluctuating up and down between him and Prado and Herlings. And also Gajser taking his 90th race win of his career.
With the rain on Saturday, you would have to possibly look at someone like Jeffrey Herlings, very technical in the mud. We saw that in France earlier this year. We saw how quick he was riding in Portugal when we had the rain. Jorge Prado is probably the favourite if he makes good starts and can stay there, because the track in Frauenfeld, those 180-degree corners get deep, they get rutty. Tim Gajser, how will his mud skills be? He's the guy under the most pressure at the moment because he has a small lead coming in, and any mistakes, he can't afford just to sit there in seconds and third places, because the lead that he does have, which is quite small, will get swallowed up immediately, and then the pressure is really on. So He has to be vigilant, and if there's a performance that can come out of the hat, this weekend has to be it for Tim Gajser, just to sort of settle everything back down and almost deflate the guys around him.
Gajser finds his way past Prado at the first time of asking. Crucial moment in this first MXGP race, potentially. Gajser gets around the outside of Renault. Only one thing on his mind is to win.
Sunday in Switzerland was really nice, you know, and I think the rain overnight helped a lot to develop the track so nicely, you know, with so many lines. It was quite muddy in the morning, and the first race was quite muddy still. I even feel like when I was riding, like I didn't push the limits. That's the best feeling. You don't even putting the effort in, and the gap is just increasing, and then you can just control the race.
It was great to see the return of two riders that have been missing for pretty much most of the season. Ruben Fernandez, he's been missing since turn 1 in the qualifying race in Argentina. So for him to run up front the way that he did, great to see, but not easy to do, because these guys are racing, they've got their race pace, they've got their fitness, they've got their racecraft, their mind is working super fast. And Maxime Renault as well. 2 foxhole shots, he had some laps at the front as well, but again, just that race pace, that craft, just eluding him, but it's bound to. You know, we've not seen him since round 2. So great to see those two back. Riders that those title challengers seriously have to worry about getting involved, getting in the mix.
I mean, I know that from now on, because the championship is getting tighter and tighter, you know, especially we still have 4 GPs to go, so there was not any tactic, you know. From now on, it's just trying to go on the race and try to win as much as possible. Jeffrey came behind me and he started to push when we were like 4th, 5th, something like that. Then I know that it's time, you know, to attack the guys in front of me, and that's what I did.
Oh, freight train, absolutely dynamic. Gajser down the inside. He came from so far back. He was late on the brakes, late to shut off the gas. I don't even think he changed down, did he?
I even feel like when I was riding, like I didn't push the limits, you know. I still have some space.
And as we work our way towards the end of lap 11 here, there's going to be less than a second. Prado looks across the outside, sees Gajser there, 2/10 in it as they hit the line. And he goes outside and he takes the line away. And he makes the same pass as he did at the start of race 1.
There was no room for error for Tim Gajser. His performances, you know, he didn't make great starts either, but he quickly got to the front. He passed Jorge in the same position both races to take over the lead, and he never looked back either. And he was literally just on another level that weekend.
He rounds out the final couple of corners. Tim Gajser, Team HRC, goes 1-1 here. He wins the Swiss Grand Prix. 1-1, absolutely dominant. So this Grand Prix very much about the numbers game. Jeremy Seaward, 200 consecutive appearances. Tim Gajser, 50 Grand Prix victories. Jeffrey Hurling's 150 career podiums. A big day here in MXGP 2024.
He still cannot afford to relax, but that was a statement ride for Tim Gajser.
I was kind of like controlling, you know, all the time. So as a rider, that's a great feeling. I think with the team, with the bike, myself, we did some good steps in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, everything is going well. And yeah, ready to fight.
Hello everybody and welcome to the FIM Motocross World Championship. It's round 18. We are at the MXGP of Turkiye.
So we are here on the eastern edge of Europe now for round 18 of the MXGP World Championship. Turkiye, Afyon Karahisar, the Afyon Motorsports Centre, hosting its 7th Grand Prix. It's been fairly constant through the years. You've had 4 wins for Jeffrey Hurlings, 2 wins for Tim Gajser in MXGP, and MX2, apart from the first one, they've always been won by the Red Bull KTM factory racing team. So it's one of those circuits that comes towards the end of the season because of the weather. We are here at this end of the year. There's barely a cloud in the sky. It's a beautiful area, blue skies, and heat seems to be the major factor even this late in the season now.
Now you're on time.
1 hour early already.
Yeah. When I was training for the season during the winter, I was only thinking about I want to fight for the championship this year. I had the red plate already last year one time and I lost it immediately. But yeah, I know I have the speed, and yeah, coming into the last race now, yeah, as a championship leader with 17 points, I haven't had such a big lead yet this year.
After the MXGP of the Netherlands in WMX, Lotte Van Drunen with a fantastic double win there stretched out the points advantage now to 17 points. So with the remaining 2 races here in Turkiye, she then needs a 4th and a 5th, even if Daniela wins both races, and Lotte Van Drunen will win her first Women's World Motocross Championship.
Well, right now I'm not really nervous. Honestly, in Arnhem I was really nervous. But right now I feel even better than before. And yeah, I've had some really good training on the hard tracks.
There is the possibility for her to clinch it on the Saturday. There's quite a few things that can happen to decide that, almost too much to break into in one go. But yeah, Lotte has the chance now to win on the Saturday if she can and do a victory lap on the Sunday. I'm sure the #1 plates are already printed that she can stick on Sunday. But either way, Lotte Van Drunen is the hot favourite, even though it is the same sort of terrain that Daniela won so brilliantly on back in Spain.
WMX race 1, 20 minutes plus 2 here at the final round, the MXGP of Turkiye.
However, Lotte has been training specifically on hard packs, so for sure she's going to have enough speed. I would say for a 4th and a 5th, she's the hot favourite without a doubt.
Gates drop now, big hitters to the right-hand side. Duncan with the advantage heading into the turn. She holds a nice tight line. Van Drunen trying to go the long way round. But it's Duncan who leads away. The number 8 here in red and black. Montanesi in 2nd. Guyen is in 3rd. Van Drunen now to 4th place. Inching close at Daniela Guyen. Montanesi senses that the Spaniard is going to be to her outside line anyway. And Montanesi messes up mid-turn. An easy pass in the end for Guyen as she moves into 2nd place. Another couple of points now for her in the championship chase. Van Drunen puts her best lap in of the race, so with a 2:03.95. Here she is, the 4:01, doing all she needs to do at the moment. Duncan wins race 1 here in Afyon. 2nd, Daniela Guyen, championship still alive for the Spaniard. 3rd for Montanesi. Van Drunen should be 4th.
She really has ruffled feathers in the sense where she's totally stepped it up this year. I think the other women around her can really feel that. Looking at Lotte's season, she's held the red plate since the 2nd round. She's very consistent. She's been winning overall. She's been winning races. And one thing about her is you very rarely see her making silly mistakes. She's just remained consistent.
Yeah, well, obviously I've worked up since I was like, 5 years old up to this dream. And I think I'm ready, and I'm really excited to finally be at the point to maybe achieve it already at 17 years old. Is absolutely amazing.
The 4:01, the Queen of Sand, is a couple of 100 metres away from taking the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship. She knows it now. She's out of the final turn. Lotte Van Drunen is the FIM World Champion 2024.
Well, we worked really hard for it, so it was something really special, and yeah, especially also with the family, you know, we really work together and it's not me on my own.
Lotte Van Drunen, you just picked up your first world title. You're the 2024 world champion. Emotional time, mate.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm still so young and we worked so hard for it, and now to do it already is something incredible. I want to give an insane thanks to my dad because he's the man behind all this. And thanks to my mom, my brothers, my friends and family, my team, my trainers, everybody's supporting me. This is crazy. Oh, it was a long one. I took it really easy, also with the back markers, but yeah, we got it now. From red to gold.
Chiara Fontanesi, the MX Sponsor Racing Gas rider, takes the third step of the podium. FNH Racing Team's Courtney Duncan, second overall for her. Daniela Guian on the top step. She pulled everything out of the bag on the final lap. But Lotte Van Drunen departs Yamaha. Arrived here with the championship leader's red plate. She will leave here with gold goggles and a gold plate. She is the 2024 FIM Women's Motocross World Champion.
It tastes like gold.